Welcome traders to the S&P 500 futures chart review for 6/12/2019. I am pointing to the level of 2889 on the screen right here. I'm going to show you the call from this morning. Please hang out. So I make these calls every day in a prep video. You could use these levels, go back, look at my previous videos. The chart review is basically to show you that what I'm calling works, and you can learn how to call these levels too just by watching the prep video in the morning. So I'm going to show you exactly how I called it out this morning, and then we'll talk about it. 79, which is too early, but it may go through there. You got an 84 level here, which is the top of a pivot, and on a smaller time frame. You've got 80, 89, 94. Okay, so the market opened up right at this blue line, instantly popped up right into the 89 area. It would have gave you all the way down to 2081.25, almost exactly nine points of profit there. I think 8 points of profit, and you could have had that first thing in the morning by taking that trade. So sign up, become a subscriber, watch some of the prep videos, look at some of the calls that I make, and determine for yourself. You can learn how to make these calls by doing the same volume analysis that I make. I give tips and tricks each morning, in the afternoon in the chart review videos, so you can learn how to do this too. And there's also a course coming, so please subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. And let's do the rest of the chart review. Let's do it. Okay, traders, welcome to the chart review. I already gave you the date, 6/12/2019. Market just closed. I had 13 trades for the day. Profit of 462. I took some losers. I had 10 winning and 2 losing and 1 even, about a 76% trading success there, and maximum consecutive winners was 8. So not a bad day, because the range was real tight and small. Looking on the daily here, we really didn't go anywhere. I kind of said in the prep video this 2875 level was the line in the sand, and we'll look at it on the intraday. But we tested it several times, and they made sure that it stayed above that, because I was absolutely sure if it broke that I was going to put a short trade on and ride this thing to the depths. But it never broke. But anyways, not much to say on the weekly, not much to say on the 240, not much to say on the 60 minutes. You can see we were just pretty much sideways. Looking at the intraday, so we opened up, we got that great trade right at the beginning of the day. Came back and tested it again, and really sold off at that point. I thought maybe we were going to have a big down day at that point, but it just pretty much chopped in a range. Here's that 274.5 level right here. You can see it came down and tested this, and they basically held it up and made sure that it wasn't going to fall through there. Probably half the bars on this chart. We have the lowest volume in about 8 days, but yeah, we have about half the bars on this chart that we usually have. And so it was kind of a tough trading day. This first trade was a pretty good one to nail right out of the box there. So I wanted to do something a little bit different today. Actually, let me jump over and just do the symmetry real quick. So because we had a trading range day, we here's the pop-up, here's the second one. We pretty much stayed in all the ranges today. Pretty good symmetry overall. It was pretty much going between the two lines, but like I said, it was just kind of wiggling around. But anyways, back to the intraday, just so we can take a look. So I was noticing this. There's a lot of people that probably believe in trend lines out there, and I was looking at this thing right here, and I was like, oh, if I drew a trend line right across here, you probably would have, taken that against that trend line or something like that, and you probably would have lost, right? So what about this one back here? What if you took this top one, right? This trend line looks like it's going to be a good one, right? But it goes beyond it. How come it didn't turn at the trend line? It's kind of like I've talked in my candlestick course. Algos and most of the trading being done in the market doesn't really care about trend lines. Nobody's looking at these trend lines except for the 2% of traders that are retail traders, that are making trades. So why did it turn here? Why did it turn here? And I think we can probably answer it pretty quickly if we just yank this across here and look at this volume. Look at where did it trade up to? Here's the bulk of the volume, and it traded up right before it. It could never quite trade into where the bulk of the volume was, and so that's where it turned. The sellers were actively selling this guy, and it turned right there. And so that's why you got that point. So what about the third point over here on the trend line? Again, look at this big old volume right here. It traded up right in front of that big old step of volume. They could never get through it, and that's why it turned there. That's why the trend line failed, right? It just didn't work, because really the volume, the place that the sellers were really interested in defending was this big old line of volume up here. And I apologize, I should probably be using this pointer to kind of point to that and point to that. That's why, trend lines will sometimes work, and you probably maybe think that this is a successful trend line because it did turn finally eventually there, but it didn't turn because of the trend line. It turned because way back here a bunch of algos put sell orders in and they were defending this position, and it sold again. That's really the reason why it turned. So I hope you can understand that. It's the same thing if you went and put a moving average on and you were like, oh yeah, it turns at the moving average. No, it doesn't. Draw a profile on there and look where the volume is, and you'll see the reason that it turned. So look across here. See these little yellow lines? These are all the high volume points of the candles right here. And when you look right across, what do you see? You see high points of volume on these two candles right here, and it turned. Basically that's where people were going to trade. So if I pull this over, see how that line goes right across right there? That's that's how it turns. It's because not a trend line. It's because sellers were basically defending that spot, and that was their line right there, and that's why it sold. How about this? Look at let's do this one. I need my pointer back. And so look at this big old bar right here. So most people would say, hey, this big bar is a bar of strength. Look how bullish that thing looks. I look at that and I go, okay, I want to get short, because if it falls, it's going all the way back down here where the volume is. There's no positions in here. No positions. It's going back. Right? Look at these two big bars over here. Down, down. Look, when it comes back up, big bar, boom, all the way back up. And you see this all over the place. Big bar up, big bar down. Big bar down. Nope, here it comes right back up. There's no positions, right? These things get real thin in here when they don't build positions. Let's see if I can get that in here. Right? So this is where they start to run into trouble right here. And that right there, right? They trade up and get a little bit beyond it, but there's nothing in there. It looks like they move through here pretty quickly, right? Look at this big old bar. Look how strong that is. Nah. You need to look at the volume. So if we pull this guy back, you're going to see there's more volume right here. And that's where they trade up into and run out of steam. So I hope this lesson kind of helps you. Don't get stuck on stochastics, trend lines, moving averages. If you can learn how to profile the market and start to read it, then you'll do a lot better. Look down here. Look at this level right here, right? There's going to be some kind of gap that's going to be right between them, right? So this is the step in the volume. This is the gap between two profiles, and this is where it usually turns. It usually turns right in the gap. Came right into the high. This is the high volume right here, right? And there it goes. So they couldn't even trade into that area. They held it and it traded away. Hope that helped you guys. I know that there wasn't a whole lot of action in the market today. Not a whole lot of stuff to kind of go over trade wise, but there is a course that I'm building. I just put up the candlestick video, and I have more coming. So if you like the analysis, want to learn how to trade with volume and not indicators, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you guys have questions, comments, anything you want, put them in the comments and I will get back to you. And I hope you had a good trading day like I did, and I will see you in the morning. Take care.